The Seaman. In my opinion, this is actually one of the best classes in the game because they have such nice high damage weapons, but we'll talk about that more in a bit. And because they're like a tank. Again, that kind of ties in with guns and weaponry and things like that. But this is one of the best classes because it's kind of the backbone of the team. Everybody knows that a good team needs a good seaman. Now, most teams don't have a good seaman because most people actually don't know how to play as the class. They just don't have the skills to utilize all of its abilities properly. Um, so if you want to grow your skills in the Seaman class and become a better Guts and Blackpowder player in general, you've come to the right place. These are 5 things you can do to master the Seaman class in Guts and Blackpowder. Number 1, timing. Timing is so important when taking down any enemy in Guts and Blackpowder. Specifically, timing is very important for the Seaman, for runners and zappers. Now, the reason timing is important for runners is quite obvious. Depends on what weapon you use, but we'll get into that in a bit. So, it's just super important because if you're out there in the middle of a crowd swinging your saber with no rhythm and no meaning at your shots, you're not going to hit anything, you're going to get grabbed, and you're going to die. And that will just get you sitting out until the next respawn, and nobody wants to sit and do that. Because if a runner's charging at you, and you're swinging your saber without any actual aim, then you're just going to get tackled and die, and your teammates probably can't save you. So you really need to be able to you need to be prepared, first of all. If a runner comes at you, you need to be able to wait long enough to where they're right in front of you. Again, this depends on your weapon. Now for the Seaman, there's, again, 4 main melee weapons. I'll get into those later. They all have different ranges, obviously. So with, say, a saber, it's going to be easier than with a boarding axe. But it's going to take a bit of practice to master this, because it took me ages to master killing a runner as a Seaman with those different weapons. So you have to wait. Again, it varies depending on the weapon, but you have to wait right until they start the grabbing animation, right until they're launching in, till they're about I'd say about 4 studs in front of you. Now, what you want to do is you want to hold it way before they get there. You don't want to press it right when they do that. You want to hold it way before. And when they get right up to you, you want to let it go, smack them, kill them. I have some footage here. I'll try and get it in right here in this section of the video, but you can see I've mastered this, obviously. So yeah, as you can see, you have to let it go at the perfect time, even when you're under stress. Don't just swing randomly. Swing with purpose, swing with determination. Make sure you know where your shot's gonna land. And with sappers, or zappers as they're zombie sappers, it's extremely important as well with timing, because when they come down on their swing, you have to judge. You can't just the second you see a zapper, you can't just go in swinging, because he's gonna get his axe and he's gonna do half your health and it's gonna be gone. If you're at half health, you just respawn, you're dead. One zapper hits you, you're gone. So this is why it's really important. You want to make sure that you go right up to him. He's going to start swinging his axe. You move back. He's going to hit the ground. That's when you move in. That's his weak spot. Right after he lands the axe on the ground is when you want to start attacking him. And you can get about 4 good hits in before he really gets ready to hit you again. But by that time, you should pretty much kill him. Number 2, using your gun at the right time. Now, this is a really, really, really important section, and I've actually spent a lot of time thinking about this, because using your gun correctly can mean either life or death. So one of the things, or pretty much one of the only things, that's really, really, really important with this is using your shots wisely. Now, this is hard for noobs because they haven't really figured out the game. They're still they think their firearms are overpowered, and they're not. What you want to focus on is your melee. So, using your shots wisely. Now, when you shoot a bullet, you want to shoot a shot at something that's going to make it worth the reload time. So, you don't want to shoot at one zombie standing in front of you, just a shambler or two shamblers or even 3 or 4 shamblers. Just kill them with your sword. What you really want to do is you want to shoot a group where you know you can hit at least 5. Use your shots wisely. Make it worth the reload time. Now this varies from person to person what you deem wise for your shots. If you want to take out a runner, or not a runner, just a random shambler, you go ahead. You're just gonna have to reload. Me personally, I use it on bombers and a massive crowd. Another thing is predicting your reload time. Now this is again varies from gun to gun. See, if you have the knock gun, obviously you're gonna have a really, really, really long reload. You have to reload 8 shots. So you gotta predict for that. So if you fire at a group, you have to be able to hold off zombies and find time to reload before you head on. So you need to find a time. You need to think, okay, if I fire this shot, I'll be able to kill these guys right here with my axe or my saber or whatever, and then I'll be able to reload as my team moves down. Number 3, bombers. Now, there's a few things in here. First, I'm going to go through, don't shoot bombers when your teammates are near, alright? This is just common sense for Guts and Blackpowder. This isn't just Seaman, but don't shoot your teammates. Don't shoot your teammates. Don't shoot your teammates. Don't shoot bombers when your teammates are standing right next to them, because you're going to kill them or wound them, and they're going to die. And they have to wait till next respawn. So really, you're not doing yourself a favor. You're actually making it harder for your team because you're taking off a person off that team every single time you do that. I understand if it's a jerk in the server, by all means, shoot the bomber. Nobody's going to miss him. But if it's a good teammate or just a random Joe guy you don't know, don't do it. Just wait. Because what they're probably trying to do is walk up to it, get it to ignite itself, and then they're going to walk past it. So just be patient, see what's going to happen, and if he's gone, if the guy walks past or he goes back or something, go ahead. All go guns a-blazing, firing all at it. But yeah. Another thing is, for the Seaman, bombers are really good, because if you have doesn't matter, a blunderbuss, the Navy pistol, the knock gun, these all have, Navy pistol doesn't really, but it's still good for this. These all have really good penetration. Again, not as much as the Navy pistol, but it's still usable. So basically, you're gonna wanna, because when you're here with your team, say we're heading down the road from San Sebastian, we're curving around all these corners, going down, and there is a bomber. But in front of that bomber, towards you, there's like 12 or 13 shamblers. They're just sitting there. So it makes it hard. If you had a musket, you would never be able to kill that bomber. You would hit the shamblers. Now, with a Seaman, one of the great things about him and his weapons is that you can fire, and since like a knock gun has such good penetration, it's going to blast through all of them. So this is where you can really be a great help to your team, is so they don't have to sit there while bombers and shamblers move towards them and sit there, waste their shots, reload, waste their shots, finally kill a bomber. You can take it out in one hit. And especially if your teammates are near there, obviously not near the bomber, but on the other side of the shamblers, you can take out an entire row. And you can go through a whole row of them and still hit a bomber in the back. So this is why it's really important to have a Seaman on the team, because he can just blast through that, you can keep moving. So yes, make sure to do that for your team, and you'll find it a lot easier to win whatever map you're trying to win. Number 4, using your melee effectively. So the 3 main melee weapons of a Seaman is a saber, a boarding axe, and a hand axe. My personal favorite is the hand axe. Again, it comes down to choice, but that's definitely my favorite. Obviously, these all have different ranges. Right now, I'm not, but it's very important that you pay attention to the range, because if, again, a runner, let's say, a runner's coming at you, and you have a hand axe, you're going to have to wait a little bit, it's going to have to be close. It's like an uncomfortable close. So if you have like a saber, you're fine, you can just do it normally. But like a hand axe or a boarding axe, you have to be really careful, and you have to watch your range, because if you're too far away, then you're going to miss it, and it's going to tackle you. If you're too close, you're going to miss it and it's going to tackle you. So you have to really pay attention to the range and just play around with it. And, yeah, you're just going to have to figure that bit out for yourself. It's down to personal choice and how good you think you are at that weapon. And another thing is what the weapons actually individually do. So a saber is just normal saber stuff. It's great for pretty much anything. Standing at longer distances, and stabbing things, jabbing things, slashing them, all that good jazz. Now the boarding axe is a two-sided axe. The spike side does more damage. There's been some argument about that, but the spike side does do more damage. Um, it's a good weapon. It has a little bit more range, I think, than the hand axe, and yeah, it's actually pretty good. It's good for breaking down doors. The pointy side, hitting zombies, pretty good axe. The hand axe, I love. It does a good amount of damage. It's an okay amount of range, and it's a really good weapon because you can hit them in the head, one shot them, they're gone. It's really good for breaking down doors. It's more of a heavy-duty weapon, definitely. So and it's good with charge as well because you go from side to side, and it's really effective because it curves and meets in one point. So you can just do headshot, 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 headshot on all different zombies, and one tap every single one of them. And you can just kind of sail through different crowds with that. That's pretty much the melee weapons and what they kind of do. Again, most of this is down to personal choice. Number 5, always save your teammates. It doesn't really matter what class you are, but this makes the difference because this is literally if you see somebody and you continue to reload, you see somebody get grabbed, then you're literally just hurting your team. That's one less person that's going to help you defend. So the best strategy is to always just look around, scan constantly. If you hear that noise of somebody getting grabbed, whip around, start slashing. Alright? Always save your teammates. Don't save yourself, save your teammates. If you have to melee a bomber that's going to blow up a runner that's grabbing somebody, do it. The greatest thing a man can do is sacrifice his life for his brother. And it's Guts and Blackpowder is not that deep, but still, it helps people. It makes the game a lot more enjoyable for the team. And I did that once with everybody. I saved everybody, and then they started chanting "In Phoebe We Trust" at the very end. So I was like, yeah. So it's really cool. But your teammates like it. It helps everybody out. That's pretty much it. That's 5 things you can do that will help you become a master at this class, at the Seaman class. So, yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. This is kind of, I think, one of my more most in-depth guides. Definitely done a lot of editing on it. So, yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. Make sure to go ahead and check out Real Work Studio channel. We're making the Guts and Blackpowder movie. So, yeah, I will leave a link. Actually, I'll put it on the thing where you can choose the next channel or video or whatever. I'll put it right there. But yes, thank you guys very much for watching. This has been the Seaman Guide. Please consider subscribing so you don't miss anything else. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.